Mm.
Welcome, Dash fans from all over the world. This is the Three Amigos podcast, the usual Friday edition. Joining with me is our lovely blue t-shirted host, Mark. Say hi, Mark.
Hello. Nice to be
And
here.
over there's Brian. Say hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
There we go. See, someone knows how to follow orders like a good fan of a centralized currency. All joking aside, it's been a good week, hasn't it?
Yes,
pretty busy. Yeah. Sorry, guys, for the slight delay on coming on. I got to talking to two support companies. I was trying to eat my dinner really, really fast, and when I was cooking a frozen pizza, and when I was cooking in the kitchen, I just went on YouTube to just listen to something random, and there was an old YouTube channel I used to follow that talked about precious metals and silver, and now like he's an advocate of cryptocurrencies. So I was just listening to it, and he mentioned that a couple precious metal dealers start accepting cryptocurrency. So he mentioned these two places, and I just thought, right, okay. So I got my pizza straight away, and I started munching it. And the two places that were mentioned was Provident Metals and JM Bullion, which I'm familiar with. They're big players in the industry, right? So I went straight to the websites, and they've got the live chat. So I was like, hey, do you accept cryptocurrency? They're both like, yes. So I was like, okay, what process do you use? And they both use BitPay, unfortunately. So, however, I'll give a quick shout out to Melissa from Provident Metals and also Kayla from JM Bullion. They've given me like emails, and they said they'll get their IT department to consider accepting Dash if we provide the best solution. So I need to speak to our boy Joe and what he would recommend as the best one, and then hopefully we can scoop them up as well. So yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get a couple big players on the scene. So
that's good. I was just looking for some metal dealers here recently, and the ones that I saw on the site there, I don't know if there was any that were in America except for maybe the Amangi, however you say that one. But they don't even list Dash. They just say cryptocurrencies. They used to take Dash, but then I know they changed ownership. So yeah, that's good. That's good.
Well, this might be a good point to start the conversation, because Joel goes after trying to add lots of businesses to the Discover Dash website, which is doing fantastic. But I'll let Joel give an update on that, because we've had a nice significant boost in numbers. But there was that air of awkwardness when even though I was just on the live chat saying like, do you accept cryptocurrencies? And they were like, yeah, but it was just Bitcoin. And I was just like, oh, do you accept anything else? And then like you could see them already going alternative cryptocurrency, like slightly pushing away. But what I found was, well, one, it's good to say, hi, I'm Mark, and I'm from this big news website. But additionally, I said to them, well, Dash is, if you want to know more about Dash, I can help you. But if you want a business case scenario, I could explain to you about Bitcart.io. They used to accept Bitcoin, but they've moved over to Dash now. And since then, they're doing over 100K per month in business. If you'd like to discuss any further, or, you'd like to talk to businesses that have taken this route, I can get you in touch. But, and then obviously they're just the customer support. So like, oh, we can push through to the IT, but that changes the dynamic. So anyone watching that speaks to online businesses, that's always a good angle to play. Don't lie, don't fib, tell the truth. But, obviously Graham's validated those numbers for us. And his story of moving over to Bitcoin, to Dash, has been well publicized, not on just Dashforce News, but many press releases as well. So you can back that up with data. So, yeah.
I guess we're still waiting for Bitcart to update. I just checked their site. It looks like it's still the old site. Do we have an ETA on when they're going to launch that? I thought it was supposed to be last week.
By the end of the week is what Graham told me last time.
Yeah. So the site's functional, right? It's just the SSL side.
Yeah, well, the old site is functional, right? If you go to https bitcart.io, it works. It's the old site. Regular bitcart.io is not secure, and it's not up yet. It's not functional. So the old site with all the old problems and delays is still there. So we just have to wait and hope that they get their their new site up. I mean,
yeah. Well, I'm excited about the new site because the new layout page. I don't believe we discussed the new gift card options that are mentioned on the homepage. But for the longest time ever, I've seen in the Dash forums where people have been mentioning about Uber and other big businesses. You know, we always talk about coffee shops and things like that, but services that people use every day. And the fact that on Amazon, you can buy so many other gift cards for, you know, Uber, Whole Foods. I mean, I'm not good with American shops, but I mean, like, there's everything. Joelle always talks about petrol cards and things like this. Like fast food restaurants, you can buy so much stuff through Amazon. It's like crazy now. So the fact that they only accept Dash is absolutely huge. My only gripe is that I get to see you guys enjoy the
services,
and I'm just stuck here in the UK where you're getting all this amazing stuff. So hopefully
you can solve that problem as soon as you throw the queen out on her ass.
Oh, but actually, maybe I'm a bit wrong saying that, because I noticed one of the gift cards was hotel.com. So I could technically buy a hotel.com gift card, and I should be able to use that internationally. I think I would need to double check that, but I would have thought that would have worked.
Yeah, Graham was saying something about people in Korea. I don't remember if it was a private conversation or it was in the comments
like that about
drop ship. Yeah,
he said something about how they buy a lot of stuff off of Amazon.com, and they just, I don't know, they eat the shipping cost or something. I forget
they drop ship it. No, they drop ship it through some other company somehow. I'm sure they could do that in the UK.
Yeah, so
and it avoids the VAT tax, from what I understand somehow.
Yeah, you've got to be careful. Over here, they've got different import categories for literally everything. I used, without sounding too geeky, I used to be really big into comics, and obviously America is the mecca for that sort of stuff. And like they've got different categories. So like on eBay, you know, I like the old school collecting comics and stuff. I don't have time for that anymore. I should really sell it all and buy Dash, but I just don't have the time to do it. But yeah, even getting those over, you just get stung. So like I always remember having to plead with the eBay sellers, like, can you label it as a gift, please, so I don't get stung? But like, they never really comply, because, you know, if you're sending a package through DHL, UPS, or one of these things, if you're sending it international, they make you fill in all the criteria. So it's got a bit more difficult now. But yeah, if there are other solutions, I mean, like I look, it's coming up to Christmas, and I don't know what the next
beginning to feel a lot like Christmas.
And
no, it isn't. It's still like I'm wearing shorts today. It's not Christmas. Shut up.
But like, I think it was last year. There's always that hottest game console that all the kids want, that new hot toy. And I think last year it was like the Nintendo Switch, and basically they sold out. So you got all these people buying them and then selling them for extortion, you know, crazy amounts of money. Now, if you had loads of like Amazon.com cards, I'm not encouraging this. I'm just saying it could happen, that you could just pre-order on Amazon, because that's one of the great things about Amazon, and buy shed loads of the biggest toy coming out or whatever, and then you could just start selling it on eBay and making a nice tidy profit. So yeah, it's anyway, because you're saving 15%.
You could assume,
but then if the demand is like really high, we see it all the time. Every year it's always like there's a new toy, new games console, and then they always sell out. I'm sure there'll be some gamers watching this, and they'll probably remember recently with the Nintendo Mini and the Mini SNES you could plug in, so they cost thing. And then basically they only make so many of them, they sell out, and then on eBay they're like selling for like double the price.
Yeah, there was that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Christmas movie, where they like sold out that little, I forget. Sinbad.
Oh no, it was different.
Sinbad's in it, I think. I forget what the.
Yeah, I think it was something like Jingle All the Way. I saw it in theaters. I didn't like it then. But
somebody gave it. I just saw it. Somebody brought it up the other day. It was like their top, Christmas movie or whatever. I forget where I saw it. Yeah.
The correct answer to that question is always Die Hard.
Oh yeah. That was. I think that was number one. Yeah. No, that's a classic. Love that.
Yes, but that's the thing is, crypto markets can enable so many cool, weird things, and it's weird that we're even talking about Amazon.com being like an American service when crypto, like, sometimes we forget in the crypto sphere, right, that the world is actually very segmented, because for crypto we're all just one big happy family.
You know, my internet was out earlier today. It blinked out. It could go out at any time. I don't know what the deal was, but I missed that article. I guess the Huffington Post. I saw I've posted some stuff in the Reddit article. What was that about? I missed it. Is it? I guess it was deleted now, or what's the deal with that?
It was a hater article. Someone in notoriously bad English wrote some article about saying that some kind of anti-Dash from the privacy standpoint type thing. First, the headline said something about that Dash users are on the government watch list, and then proceeds to not mention again for the rest of the article. There's not a single link or citation in the rest of the article. Yeah. And then it said something about just a bunch of weird stuff, and something it was said was something about how Dash can be de-anonymized because ISPs can access the masternode transaction logs. So, Brian, I mean, do you have a transaction log of all the transactions that I make?
You probably. Yeah, that's. I don't. For me? Yeah, they say that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's.
Yeah, it was a bunch of notoriously ridiculous stuff, and it was under a pseudonym. And previously, the same pseudonym wrote some article where the guy gave his Twitter handle, like his real world Twitter handle. And so it was some Asian fellow who writes about Qtum and Tezos and a bunch of like those Neo and those kinds of things.
Shit coins.
So yeah, it was a random, again, not a single citation, and they still call it Dash with dark send, right? How long has it been since it's been called dark send?
Since 2016, right?
Yeah. Over a year. So, I mean, I think you could go to Wikipedia and just copy and paste and then make up some lies and do a better job. Because, where will you find it called dark send still?
It was fear porn, basically. The problem was they kind of insinuate. Yeah,
let's use the crypto industry term. Porn. It was FUD.
Oh, okay, it was completely FUD. But the way it was actually done quite smart, because it kind of alluded to that a couple people had been arrested by the government, and that used Dash to spread that fear. And
it alluded to something regarding Estonia or something.
Yes.
And
a couple people had been arrested.
After the recent arrests of these people in Estonia for this, and then link to the article, blah, 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 fear porn. Like, they didn't even construct, like, if I wanted to hate, I couldn't find it. Just, there's nothing to go on. It's like he almost says a bunch of things that aren't true. He doesn't even say them. He just, a lot of almost said weird stuff. But that didn't stop some trolls from sharing it around, and just, they stopped trolling pretty quickly as soon as the article got taken down. Apparently, Huffington Post, which plays fast and loose with the facts, sometimes was not comfortable with that level of craziness.
Yeah, let me just say, on the transaction logs, I'm guessing that can be done to a certain extent. I don't know how to do it. I'm sure if the government wanted to look into it, they could.
Who do you host your masternode with?
Flare. I don't know. He does different people.
So like. Well, I won't.
But let me just.
It might give the other guys ammunition.
No, they can't do. It's not. I mean, we've all seen the probability chart. Maybe we can post it in the link or somewhere. But yeah, they would have to have access to the logs on like pretty much the whole network, which a lot of them are hosted in countries that don't have. They don't cooperate with the United States. It's not the non-extradition, but they don't cooperate. So even if they had a warrant, they wouldn't be able to get, they wouldn't be able to get to all these other countries to view the logs, to put everything together. So it's just crazy.
Tell Kim.com that.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not true. Yeah, if they really want you, they'll come and get you.
Yeah, so no matter what currency you use. Yeah, if they're really after you, they're going to find you. I mean, they've supposedly they're in like the back doors to the processors of everybody's computer and all kinds of crazy stuff and all this air gap stuff. I mean, if they really wanted you, but that's not going to be legal. That's nothing that can hold up legally in court. Without proper warrants. And
that's the other thing that people a lot of people have all these like arguments over this is airtight, that's not, all this kind of stuff. The reality about, let's start really broadly about life is not risk-free. Anyone could die at any moment for any reason, basically. That's just the way life is, right? What you can do is minimize risk and manage your risk, right? And so the same thing happens with transactions and hacks and thefts and stuff like that, right? You can back up everything, but there's still always a possibility someone could have, you know, overheard a thing and then just, or someone could randomly break into your house and randomly steal your little like crypto steal backup, and randomly someone finds it and then opens it and like there's always something that could happen. Same thing with like encryption. It's not just it's hidden or it's not. It's reducing the probabilities of finding the right answer. And so whenever you talk about, like, for example, you talk about mix-ins in, for example, crypto node type cryptocurrencies, it's sending a bunch of fake transaction outputs, right, to confuse which is the right one. It's still like there's always the chance that you get the right one. And so with all these kinds of things, it's like you can't just say, oh, we put a little line of code where like Dash is unhackable. It's just unhackable. You'll never be able to stop it. It's in the code there. It's like, it's not quite how it works. What you can do is you can make it robust, and you can make it a network that anyone can run nodes anywhere. Anyone can run incentivized nodes to keep the, you know, the network from being taken over, and then all this kind of stuff. You can do stuff to make it way harder for anything bad to happen. But I mean, that's the best you can do, is just minimize the risk to close to realistically close to zero, but not absolutely zero.
Yeah, if the FBI wants, you know, if they're on your case, they can, you know, get a warrant for your house. They can do all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff that they do with, you know, they not just like having fake repairman, but I mean, it goes way, way, way beyond that. They do all kinds of pretty cool stuff to catch, you know, bad people. So, I mean, if you're not involved in anything super crazy, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, but if you're like some major cocaine kingpin or something, yeah, you may, you know, I would probably use all the privacy coins. But yeah, I mean, if you're not doing anything crazy, then they're not going to mess with you.
So I would, actually, there's an example from the Silk Road. Apparently, when Ross Ulbricht was taken down, I hate to be so vague about this because I forgot the story, but there was something about some random investigator matched some handle he had used one time versus like an IP or something he said in some forum post somewhere, and like connected the dots.
His email address, that he had used.
So it's something with that they, with the email address, they connected it to something he'd used, said prior. You just can't be airtight, and that also makes you contrast with Edward Snowden, who, you know, he's working for the NSA, and so that makes you, I guess, safe. And then when he decided to do all the leaks, he assumed himself to not be safe and acted accordingly. And it's like you couldn't just, oh, I'm going to cover my tracks, they'll never find me. It's like, no, they're going to find you. And so he knew that, and then that's why he ran off to Hong Kong and then Russia. And at any point in time, the U.S. could kill him right now, the U.S. government. Yeah. But if they did, the shit show that would result, it just wouldn't be worth it for them. They wouldn't really get anything out of it, so they don't. And that's the real thing you got to balance, is who wants you gone, how hard is it to get you gone, and is it worth it? Which is the beauty, again, full circle around to Dash. That's the beauty of Dash, is economic incentivization. It's not that bad things can't happen. You're not going to pretend that they can't, but you're going to properly incentivize them so that they probably won't happen.
Yeah, that's the masternode. The argument used to be, oh, well, back when the masternodes were 5,000, 2,000, 3,000 a piece, is that somebody could have enough and they could look at these logs, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's pretty much out the case. That's out the door now because they're so expensive. People's not going to own that many to even put anything together. So now they have to jump to, well, if the government wanted to do it, but even then they would have to cooperate with other governments. And like I said, not all these governments where the master nodes are hosted are going to cooperate. So there's going to be huge holes anyways. And then on that Silk Road thing, yeah, they had a whole elaborate, they had like actors and stuff set up there, and they like caused a commotion, and they took his computer, and then there was like everybody, it was like 6 or 8, agents, all like, after they did it, they all like, who were like supposedly just browsing books or whatever, they all like turned and like arrested him. So yeah, if they really want to come after people, there's nothing gonna stop them. Just,
It's simple. Like I was trying to explain this to Joel earlier. If you look, over 1,000 masternodes are hosted on DigitalOcean. So like Joel mentioned, like VPNs, but the problem is a VPN masks you if you're on the internet. But if they go to the physical location and they're holding your laptop, it doesn't matter about VPN because they've got physical access. They can then capture the data, everything else. So if they go to the data center of DigitalOcean, then they can basically have that access to 1,000 masternodes, all the traffic going in and out, because you're physically there. It doesn't matter about now the end users, right? That's okay. But the problem is, well, the thing we need to focus on and celebrate and encourage is saying that masternodes, please do your due diligence. Sorry, please.
That word, yeah,
we get it. Yeah,
it's called due diligence in American.
Yes. So make sure you look at the hosting providers. A lot of people use Amazon, AWS. I've used that. It's the same principle as getting hosting for a website. You remember the Pirate Bay when they got in trouble and they had to keep relocating their website and database from country to country to try and avoid being found out? It's the same principle, right? So, but the thing is, even if they did get, the government's got access to those 1,000 masternodes, because of the way the private send works, if you do want to obfuscate your transactions,
which by the way you probably should.
Yes,
just because even if you're cool with the government, whatever your local government is, knowing everything, there's a lot of people you might not be cool with finding that. For example, just 10-second tangent and let you get back. That large hack of credit reports in the U.S., that massive data breach of 209,000 or credit card transactions, credit card numbers, right? What if all that gets acquired by some malicious non-governmental party, right? You want to keep your transactions private. Anyway, carry on.
Exactly, because all these hosting providers and service providers, they're dependent on someone else. Now, I'm sure there might be some people watching saying, well, back in the day, you might be able to put like a masternode on a Raspberry Pi and do it from home. But the thing is, why do people use hosting providers for websites? Because you want 99% uptime. Now, Brian will tell you that if you lose your internet connection with the masternodes, you go back to the queue in terms of payouts, right? That's why you want good internet connection, correct? So this is why you need to, however, I can see Brian's giving that look, saying like, "Shut up! You're saying too much."
No, that happened. Yeah, Flair had an incident recently. It's been his service has been solid for years, but yeah, I guess he had something went down at the data center, and yeah, it knocked me back in the queue. Back in the day, it wasn't a problem. Now it's like, almost, well, it is thousands and thousands of dollars that you lose out on. But let me just say this about that: there is solutions. Nobody really knows. Evan has some new solution for privacy we don't really know about, and masternode blinding will also. I think that may or may not be part of the.
Is currently.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be part of this new solution or if it's still in the roadmap, or it may not. This new solution, you may not even need the masternode blinding, but that'll take care of.
So that's the thing. That's the interesting thing for me is the hardware solution, the custom hardware, because that means people won't be able to potentially, these hosting services may not have that specialized custom hardware that Evan spoke about in his roadmap. So if you're having to build these kind of systems, you're going to have them at home anyway, right? Because unless
or at whatever office location you hold it, or wherever.
Yeah.
We'll control it. Yeah.
Yeah, or you're going to get like people like Moo that take the initiative and build like mini farms of all the hardware themselves and start up services for themselves without people having to rely on third-party things. But if you are a service provider like DigitalOcean, as we mentioned, as Amazon, even Microsoft offer these services. There's countless of them, right? You got to play by the rules, and if the government come by, you got to be an open book. It's just like when you go to register a domain. I was saying to Joel, he was like saying you can go to ICANN, but then you see people got private things. I was like, yeah, that's for public viewing. But if you're a government entity, it's open book.
Yeah, if we have these centers also that we would know if they had a warrant or whatever. I know Reddit had a thing to where every month they would make a post or something saying, yes, we have not been contacted by the FBI, blah blah blah. Because if there is a secret warrant, then you're not supposed to macrochip just send something in. But yeah, if you are
shut Mark
if you
up.
Masternode blinding is part of the DAPI.
Okay.
Centralized API. Yes, of course.
But yeah, if you do get if we did have these data centers and they did get a warrant, yeah, I'm sure we could set it up to where, you know, every month there would be a report saying, yes, we have not been contacted by the FBI. And then if 1 month that, you know, that lapsed, then everybody would know, hey, yeah, there's the FBI is looking at warrants. And I'm sure they may do that at some point. You know, have a warrant, but it's going to be specific to, it's not going to just be, they can't legally, they're not just going to be able to go on fishing expeditions. They have to have, like, you know, if they're going to do it legally, they have to have the probable cause and all that kind of stuff. If you're not doing anything, you know, crazy, then you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, so that's the motive, isn't it? I mean, like, Edward Snowden would tell you different, but I mean, this is it. Like, we're being open and transparent because we're facing the problem head on. That's why I'm so happy about the bug bounty program. 60,000 security experts looking at this. We're not trying to hide behind the curtains. We're saying, look, let's bring on the solution. Let's look. We've got money in this. We want this to be solid and secure. And, you know, I want to be one of the people that at the front leading it, because so far, the reason why I moved from Bitcoin to Dash was because of the innovation and development, and they're looking to provide solutions that people are putting their head in the sand for.
Yes,
so
that's one thing that really strikes me about this whole thing, other than, well, you know, Dash and then there are some other currencies that do have this sort of open policy to detecting bugs and stuff. But that's why I love the name of Dash's upcoming update, Evolution, because it's not just like Dash, the second coming of Duffield or something. It's not something just like, oh, there we go, we're in heaven now. It's a constant evolutionary process, right? Or, you know, process, as the Canadians like to say. And so the good thing about that is, so early on you get no one wants to throw a bunch of money into a masternode because they don't know where Dash is going or if it's going to work out. The early adopters with the foresight get heavily weighted in voting, because you get some guy with like a, you know, $20,000, you can get 4 masternodes back in the day, or like a year ago, right? And then now that's a significant amount of money they're rewarded for, right? And you have some people who might have more than that, and they gather that, and so they're rewarded. And when it becomes more expensive to run them, right, then with that blocks against outside interests who weren't early believers or whatever. But then over time, you get this decentralization effect. You're like, well, these people just locked in their masternodes. This guy got like 24 masternodes, and he's just like sitting on them, and he's a big whale. He's a voting whale. And it's like, well, that guy's just a troll. He can just do whatever. But then you get over time, now the requirements to run a node become much more stringent, right? Because you got higher throughput, higher data loads, and you need better bandwidth. You start needing customized hardware. So if you're someone who bought up 100 nodes when that was like, when it was like
dollars,
it was like $2, right?
Yeah, it's a couple dollars initially.
Yeah, when you threw some money behind that, but you just bought up 100 nodes, you're sitting on 100 nodes, making 20 grand a month recurring income. I mean, that's pretty nuts. You're just
probably
sitting there,
way more than that. Yeah, I would.
Oh, yeah, but you're having a good time.
You'd be swimming in your bankroll like Scrooge McDuck.
Yes, you're just like, swimming in your duffs. And so you get to that point, and all of a sudden, oh, now for each of these nodes, I have to have all this customized hardware, and I have to be doing all this stuff. What's to say you aren't going to sell like all but one node and just run 1 or 2 nodes, right? Because now it becomes annoying to maintain that stuff. And if you just kind of sit on them, you're going to get kicked off the payment queue because you won't be running the node right. And then all of a sudden, all that money floats back into the ecosystem. You have new people piling together and making up nodes. So that's going to be very interesting.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that difficult. I think there'll be services that are in place to do it. And one other thing I wanted to say about like the FBI and all this kind of stuff, I said if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to worry about. I mean, even if you're selling weed on the dark net or whatever, man, the FBI, they really don't care. I mean, unless, like I say, you're some giant, billionaire cocaine kingpin or something, they don't have time to mess with all the stuff. And if you're buying stuff, they could really even care less. So they just, the time and everything, they just don't have the resources to.
It's not that. I think it's I think people's biggest concern would be the IRS and things like that, people avoiding taxes. This is the big conversation in cryptocurrency at the moment, especially within Europe, people having to pay tax. In the UK at the moment, it's a bit tricky. It's like everywhere, it's a gray area. So basically, if you convert your cryptocurrency to fiat and then you buy like a property or anything with that, there's a capital gains tax. So if it gets to the stage where cryptocurrency just keeps blowing up, they're going to want to get their tax. And we know America more than anywhere else. Fortunately, we don't have much oil in the UK, so we're okay. But I mean, like, if they want their taxes, they want that money, especially if you're in dire straits and you're over 20 trillion in debt, you're going to want to try and get money from anywhere, especially when China owns most of your debt.
It's the same thing, though, with even the taxes. They don't go after
small fish.
Right, it's just not worth their time. They can't police everybody, and they do pick and choose. I mean, if you get on their list, on the shit list, and they may come after you. But for the most part, they don't go after extremely wealthy people or really small fish. They go after somebody in the middle because wealthy people can fight them. They'll waste all their money and they don't want to mess with them. They go after the people kind of in the middle. But that's this is all theoretical.
Yeah, let's try to do something live. So like, hello live chat. We haven't really looked at you yet. Is Joshua in the building? Is Joshua in the live chat?
No,
I've got an idea for you.
Back to him on Twitter earlier, though.
Oh, is it? Okay. Joshua, if you're watching this, I think you'll be really good.
If you're not, you deserve a spanking.
Joshua,
someone go in the Slack and just give him a shout out. While we're talking, and if you could do this live, Joshua, excellent. I see you in the chat. I've got an idea. If you could do it now. If you could make a chart quickly of the so Darkcoin started in 2014 in January. So if you can get the dollar purchasing power from 2014 to present day, so it should go straight down because the dollar hasn't been doing too good, and then compare that to Dash 2014 to present day, I think that would be fantastic, and that would be a fantastic tweet to do because it just shows the power of inflation against deflation, right? So yeah, if you could, sorry to put you on the spot, but as we're talking about that, I think that's so instrumental for people to see because people got money in the bank, but and also as well, guys, can someone keep half an eye on my Twitter? Before I came online, I sent a message.
Charlie?
I sent a message to Charlie.
Response?
He said he was stuck in a hurricane. He was gonna, he's
fleeing a hurricane.
Yeah, he's on transit to avoid it. So I just said, I'm going on the podcast. Have you got any updates? If you do, just send me a message and I'll pass it on to the community. So keep half an eye on that for me, just in case. And if you do see anything, just put it in the chat.
Yeah, probably. I mean, let's say, for being so pressed at fleeing a hurricane, he certainly had a great amount of time to put a detailed map of the hurricane and make sure that all of Twitter or just your tweet knew about it. So yeah.
Well, he can also, we're having this 3 Amigos after party or whatever. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, Charlie, feel free to join us. Everybody else, feel free to join us after that. We'll get a link up.
Yeah. So guys,
so many people are
so we should explain this after party concept. Sorry.
Yes. Go for it, Brian. It's your baby.
Well, I just thought it'd be cool to have the community, anybody who wants to kind of join in and talk and just have a larger conversation. It doesn't necessarily have to be about Dash, but yeah, I think we should kind of keep it somewhat about Dash. But yeah, just people can pop in, ask questions, and just hang out.
So here's the thing, and it's going to be quite interesting because Google Hangouts has limitations. So traditionally, it can take up to about 10 people, I believe. If you kind of got like a business account, they try to expand it to 25. So it may be able to go up to 25 people. We can have a hangout, but this is completely open because this is brand new concept that we haven't done before. So what we might do is after the 3 Amigos finishes, I think the only way we can really make this work is to get the hangout link to join and perhaps post it in the Slack, the Dash Nation Slack channel. And then literally it's going to be first come, first served. So if is that 10 people amount, once you get that threshold, it's until someone comes out, you're not going to be able to come back in. So yeah, hopefully people will be interested and want to join, and you can ask us questions and we can meet people from the community. So yeah, get your webcams and your microphone set up beforehand, and hopefully.
Yes, and please put your pants on.
Yeah, Yes.
Do we have to shut this link down before we can get a new link?
What I'll do is, because this is hosted through YouTube, so once this is shut down, this will go and then be uploaded for people to see it in our channel. And what I'll do is, outside of YouTube, I will start a Google Hangouts. So then, as it's quite late over here in the UK, then no one's in control. So basically, you stay in for how long you want, and then whatever time any of us three want to leave, we can leave, and the Hangout will still be going. Cool. That's what I think. That's the easiest way to do this. And then obviously, guys, it's not going to be recorded. It's not going to be uploaded. So you can say what you want, but try and be nice.
Yes. So we have a question from live chat. Black Tank says Dash needs more merchandise. I've been looking for a hoodie for hours. Oh, where'd you get that one? That's the macro chip shirt.
Yeah. Do you know what? This was if Macro's watching. Well done.
Macro, you better be watching. I'm going to go slap you when I go over there.
Yeah, excellent job on that. Yeah, so basically, I've been working on a side project. I want to do like
sorry, let me interrupt. Do you have a link you could send Black Tank for the hoodie that you got? Yeah. He wants it.
Yeah, I can. I've actually got a couple hoodies, and guys, I'm so pleased that we actually mentioned about merchandise, because it's been on my mind for about the past month and a half as a project that I've wanted to do. Because walking around wearing it's just free advertising. So I've actually got like about 10 to 15 different like Dash tops, hoodies, t-shirts and stuff. I went shopping to my local Tesco shopping place, and I was just last night, and I was wearing my Dash hoodie, and I was getting a few people turning around and looking at me, like reading the thing. I'm telling you, it works. So yeah, I encourage everyone to do it. Now, I will give you the link to this, because I had to create merchandise for Stephen Baldwin and Max, and I spent over $1,000 kissing them out. If you haven't seen the Stephen Baldwin video of him doing the 3-pointer, check that out. He's got the black version of this on. Yeah, macro chip, well done for this design. Obviously, when you're doing t-shirt designs, you've got to blow it up to 300 DPI. So I had to find the original cow image and then vectorize it and all that sort of stuff. So I've actually got a few images up, but I was going to have it as a surprise. The reason why I've been holding it back is because we're about Dash, right? And if you can't accept Dash as a payment, then it's kind of hitting the mark. And that's the problem I found with a lot of the other merchandise websites. They only accept dollars, right? And that's kind of like not good enough for me. So one of the things that I was kind of working on and want to do next is a t-shirt or merchandise store with embroidered hats, all that sort of stuff. And then you can pay in Dash dollars, anywhere, and it's all fulfilled. And then I don't want to do it for profit. I want to keep the cost down low, because it's grassroots marketing. So the place that I'm going to share the link to now, where I've got lots of designs, is it's a TeePublic store. So, but if you are going to buy one of these things, wait, because every 2 weeks they do a sale, and their t-shirts are $14, which is super, super cheap. If you look at other t-shirt fulfillment companies, you're looking like $20 plus, $20 to $25. So when it's on sale, $14 t-shirts. So yeah, I will share the link now in the chat. But yeah, guys, what do you think? Do you think it works as a t-shirt? Instead of so you've got the right. So I'll let you guys talk for a while.
It's funny. So 23 Uvas. Someone asked him, "Hey, what's your mailing address?" He says 1600 Pennsylvania, which is it's funny because that's that used to be my mailing address at one point in the time. That's the White House's mailing address, so it's clearly like a joke. But way back in the day, I used to intern under George W., and so people did actually send me stuff to that address.
Yeah, Joel used to be in the CIA. We don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, but, well, that's why I'm in Dash and not something like Zcash or Monero, because I know that they're all controlled by Trump.
Okay, I've put the link to.
I'm just talking smack.
I put the link to the store in the live chat. Feel free.
Oh no, TeePublic. Okay.
TeePublic. Okay. So at the moment, the t-shirts are $20. So look, if you would prefer to do your purchase in Dash, hold tight. I'm juggling so many projects at the moment. It's the next thing I wanted to do. I didn't really want to talk about it now because I wanted to wait. I like to ninja launch stuff, and I haven't really discussed it with the guys. But literally, because it came to a front with Max and Steven, I had to create stuff to get to them ASAP for the tour. So this was the fastest road for me to do that. Check it out. I've got lots of stuff on there. But if you do want to pay in Dash, try and wait a month and I have something sorted. But also as well, if you do really like it, just wait and go back, because like every 2 weeks they do have like a 2-3 day sale. They've always got crazy events on. So $14 for a t-shirt. They've got hoodies. They've got like baseball tops. Sorry, we don't really have those here. Jumpers, hats, posters, canvases, mugs, everything you can imagine.
What is this company? What's the name of it?
So I can send you a link privately. So basically, it's just one of the big t-shirt websites in the States, but they ship everywhere. That's the great thing about it. And they're trusted and they're well established.
There's a couple. There used to be a couple of different ones. What's that? The Zazzle or whatever.
Yes, there's Zazzle. Oh God, there's so many. There's loads. The Cafe Press back in the day. Even Amazon has some stuff like that. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go grab some of the t-shirt designs.
Yes.
So
I have stuff to talk about in the meantime. So
okay, so the designs I'm wearing now, just to be completely transparent, aren't from the TeePublic store. They're the same designs, but I just had these t-shirts printed out individually for me because of the shipping costs to the UK and stuff, and I needed to make sure they were good. So I just got these done privately, but they should be exactly the same design-wise. So just so you know.
Yeah, there is some. Let me just say this: there is some links in the Dash Force meetup thread. There's links to
desert links.
Yeah, there's links to some of the stores in the Dash Force meetup thread on the Dash forum. Yeah, there's a couple of stores, and you got mugs and all that stuff. I don't know if they're still going or not or what, but somebody had asked, and there was some links posted, at least 2 or 3 different links.
Yeah. So milestone. DiscoverDash.com just added its 350th listing.
Nice.
Yay! 350 places around the world you can use Dash and counting. Very nice. A lot of these recent ones were in Austria because Austria has become quite an interesting place for Dash lately. For one thing, you can buy Dash vouchers for Bitpanda at post offices all over Austria, and there's also dozens of Dash accepting ATMs all over. And so some of those ATMs are showing up on there. But yeah, that was a quick go, Joshua. It's thanks to Albert Arianes, who's been doing great work for Dash Force. And yeah, very nice. And I'm gonna have to shut up because Mark's showing all kinds of t-shirt stuff, but no one can see it because I'm talking, and that makes me hog the spotlight. So I'm going to shut up for a bit. Mark, make some noises. Rustle the t-shirt.
Oh, sorry, guys. So I've got a special limited edition one at the end as well. First one, just classic. This one is just a good way to educate. Hopefully that's not coming through backwards to you guys.
Instant, private, and secure.
That's right.
Dash.org.
And then this one I think is the money maker. So if
the money shot?
Guys,
the real money shot?
If you come to the Dash conference in London and you're one of the first 100 people coming in, you might get one of these, all right? I'm not telling any more swag, but you might get more stuff. That's
I like that.
Simple, Scott, and they'll get people asking questions, and they'll look at that, and it's just much more than a logo. So that's really. So
it says I accept Dash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to get. Can you get one made that says I reject PivX?
Dude, I say wait a second. I got something special just for you.
All right.
Yeah, I don't even think anybody knows what PivX is.
So here's
that's way meaner than anything I just said. So the cash cow.
Yeah, this is the one that Stephen Baldwin's been wearing. And then we've got the blue one, of the same one.
Yeah.
And 1 second.
DJ Crypto, what's PivX? Yeah, you're better off not knowing. It's a long story that does not have much relevance in today's fast-paced crypto world.
So this is the hoodie that I was wearing at the shop last night, and people were taking a look. It works. We should wear a Dash as much as we can. So that's one hoodie. And the other one. So these are all available, and I think there's a couple more designs on that website. But I didn't actually want to show this T-shirt, but as Joelle was talking about it, this T-shirt is for a special upcoming video that Macrochip may know about, and Dash Dude.
Ooh. What is
it? It's not available on the store, but if you'd like me to add it, I will. So I'm looking down because my microphone's down here. Yeah. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Can I have a drum roll?
Yes, I'm ready. Just keep your pants on.
Check it out.
I like that.
Can I definitely want one of those. I'll just wear it around. I'll give it to everyone I know who's a little bit of a trollero.
So that T-shirt is for a special upcoming video that I'm working on. So I've probably given it away by saying Macrochip and Dash Dude, but
well, hey, you know what? You should be quickly turning into the PewDiePie of crypto.
Yeah, anything like that. I mean, I don't want to give too much Monero time. It's
just funny for people who are inside the cryptoverse. There's just a lot of, I definitely want to you know what I want to do at some point. I mean, obviously, see all this, at least for me, some people are serious with this competition thing. They actually want to hurt other cryptocurrency projects and users and all this stuff. I don't care. I don't want people to get hurt. I mean, even let me put it this way, bad people who try to hurt others, I don't care that much if they get hurt, but I don't want them to get hurt. But it would be interesting to have at some point, just for fun joking. You know how Litecoin's, their mascot is the chicken, CHIKUN, chicken. And it would be nice to have a T-shirt that said "Chicken Dinner Paid For by Dash." But anyway, there's so much fun we could have in this very small, isolated cryptoverse that like no one on the street would absolutely get. Although, just downtown, just like a half mile from here, when I was having coffee the other day, there was some guy came in with a Dogecoin shirt, like a Dogecoin sponsored shirt. He was a sponsored cyclist by Dogecoin. It's kind of weird, but anyway.
Yeah. Mark said something about the London conference. Yeah, Dash Force will be sponsoring some merch. So if you're going to that, go find Mark. He'll hook you up.
Yes, cool. Speaking of conferences, in under 24 hours, tomorrow I'm going to be speaking at I believe it's the 4th annual Free Coast Festival here in the seacoast of New Hampshire. Dash Force is a proud sponsor of this, and so I'm going to be speaking tomorrow, Saturday. It will be recorded, and then Sunday, which I don't think will be recorded. Maybe I'll see if I can get some pictures or something. There will be a special entrepreneurship contest. I'm going to pitch some sort of Dash-related idea there. So that's going to be interesting. And on the 11th of November, I'm an announced speaker at the European Students for Liberty Conference in Vienna. So I know there's plenty of Austrian Dash fans. Come to that conference. It's going to be really cool, and I'm going to talk. And hopefully, I'm trying to talk to CoinTed, which is the ATM provider, to see if they can have a Dash ATM there, because that would be really cool. But anyway, yeah, so lots of cool stuff happening, Dash to the moon and all that good stuff. And definitely once this video's out, I would appreciate it if Mark could put all the videos, all the links to these apparel shops all there, because a lot of people really want Dash swag, and there's a few places to get them, and they're mostly very pedestrian. They're mostly very just, Dash Digital Cash, and that's it. And
it's how we first met, Joel.
Was that? Oh, yes.
How we first met.
Yes.
Bitcoin.
As I've said before, so if anyone's heard this before, just, tune it out, whatever. The first time I bumped into Mark was a few years ago when we were both involved in a service called Spreadshirt, which is sort of like a Zazzle. It's like an online t-shirt designer thing. We're trying to get them to take Bitcoin. And I stumbled across this petition that Mark started that didn't really go anywhere, unfortunately, but I signed. And years later, we just, there we go.
Yeah, that was a CIA front corporation that you guys were using. How y'all met up.
Well, it was the same crazy thing. So I don't know if you guys can see my screen. This is the store just for you, Brian, so you can see.
Ooh, wait, go down to that block of white text with a D on top.
This is what I wanted to show you, because
okay.
I thought you
that
guys
one
would like
I'm starting to get a little bit aroused.
Yeah.
Digital. Let me read everything off. Digital Oh, you keep changing it. Digital cash, decentralized, private, blockchain, secure, instant send, currency, exchange, money, internet for whatever reason, duh. Crypto, cloud, bank, ASIC, ATM, CPU, fork, block, encryption, Evan Duffield, hash rate, POS, TX, X11 dash, budget, wallet, node, block. Okay, I'm done.
I like that. That's cool. That's a really cool one.
That took me a little while to do. But
yeah,
I don't.
You're gonna have to help me design some other stuff because I have lots of ideas.
Yeah, any ideas, guys, that you have? Because the crazy thing is,
I paid Monero for a shirt like that.
You got to get Dash Force in there. I don't know. Is Dash Force in there? You got to get Dash Force in there.
I don't. Would people want to wear Dash Force t-shirts?
I would.
Well, I just in that cloud, somewhere in that cloud.
And should I add the Trollero t-shirt on here? The design on that.
Yes, that's the thing. Is one thing that Dash has been lagging behind on has been the cultural tribalism, right? Like the UASF hats, really stupid hats, but it did sort of reinforce some sense of culture and tribalism. And Dash has been so like, oh, we're just above it all and this kind of stuff. Yeah, you're above it all, but I got my swag back here. I'm gonna keep on doing it. If you see over here, I got that big old Dash flag in the back over there. Like, there's no reason we can't get all cultural about this stuff. And I mean, just think about how many crypto people who aren't necessarily Dash fans are going to come to that site and buy stuff just because they see the Trollero shirt. It's like it's a part of crypto culture. And then some people.
Where'd that flag come from?
Oh, that was from Crypto Mind, MINED. Those are the same people who got that fancy Dash bottle opener with my QR code on the back. They're cool people.
Yeah, I was thinking whenever we were talking about that QR code, I was thinking about that, and I was saying that, they also have your private key, but it may not be different. It may be different from like the coins. When people make up those coins, they actually have the private key. But if you actually sent that design to them, is that what happened? You sent
so you have the private and public key. The public key is just that public address you post anywhere. That long cryptographic hash, you put that into a thing that makes it into a QR code. And that's it. It's just all it is.
So they don't have the private key. Yeah. Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
Because with the coins, they actually have the private key. That's why a lot of people don't. They don't necessarily trust those because they have access to it. But I see what you're saying with that now. Yeah. That works.
Anyway, there's no excuses.
You have Dash Baby in your life.
We've got baby stuff. We've got posters. We've got phone cases. We've got mugs, and you can change all kinds of different colors, all that sort of stuff, all different sizes. Women, you even got racer back tops. You can wear this stuff to the gym.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you know what you should do for the children's apparel thing. And here we go, just again with a friendly joking. You should have the baby onesie that just says Monero fan. Because what's funny about that? You could, whether you love or hate Monero, you probably want to buy that. If you love it, it's just like little Monero fan, like, oh, look at my baby, he's gonna grow up to love Monero just like his daddy. Or if you don't like it, it's just like, haha, look, baby, haha. So either way, it works.
Guys in the chat, so Bitcoin initially did this back in the day. They had reasons to use Bitcoin, and it was like it went up from 1 to 101. So this is number 1, and they actually issued like a number of t-shirts. So if you guys can come up with a hashtag number and just different ideas, I will make designs, for them in the same format. Because looking at that, it doesn't look that great, but when you're wearing it and you're walking around, people they take knowledge of it, and you don't even have to have the conversation. That's the great thing, and that's the great thing about the I Accept Dash, because that's how. That's kind of like my backstory. Like late 2012, 2013, what happened is that I just made up some Bitcoin t-shirts for myself, and I was wearing them about, and then people started asking me about them, saying like, oh, where did you get that from? I was like, oh, I just had this like custom printed up. And they're saying, oh, can I have one? So then I set up a store, and then the next thing I knew, I started getting messages from people saying, hey, can I have like a polo shirt so I can wear to the golf course and things like this? And it just spiraled out of control. And the next thing I knew, I had one of the main Bitcoin merchandise websites. So I've seen the true power of this. You spend like $15 on a t-shirt, but it's free advertising, and you would never get that same rate of return from Google ads or anything else. And it's it's consistent, and it starts conversations. And a lot of the times you don't have to have conversations. And interestingly enough, that's how I met people like Roger and Charlie back in the day, because they actually came to the site to buy my Bitcoin swag. And the complaint was that your Bitcoin stuff is amazing, but you don't accept Bitcoin. But because I was in the UK, I was hosting it through a US supplier, right? And one of the people was Spreadshirt, and they didn't accept Bitcoin. So I used to run petitions for Bitcoin for businesses to accept Bitcoin. So if there's anyone out there that's like a Bitcoin maximalist to just say like we're just Dash shills, like I'm from back in the day. I used to promote Bitcoin, and I've moved over because I'm a realist. Real world applications, in terms of medium exchange, Bitcoin wasn't working, and I've tried talking to businesses. This was when transaction fees were like 10, and the time was like 10 minutes. I mean, it's a lot worse now, right? But I mean, that was when it was good and it was working.
Yes. So that's the thing is, it's such a weird world we live in today, where Bitcoin's still number one, but it's not workable as for what it used to be. I remember all the days when it was like, let's just focus on Bitcoin. It's cheap. It goes through. It's fine. All the other things are just experimental, and we can just get them to accept Bitcoin, get this, get that, and everything to accept Bitcoin. And then now Bitcoin is, in my view, permanently never going to be usable for what it was before. And so now there's still that kind of holding pattern where you can't focus all that activity into one thing. You got these businesses like, say, Coinbase or BitPay that are built around Bitcoin, and there's really not many competitors in the Bitcoin space, much less the rest of cryptocurrency. Shout out to Joe Maraca, who does great work for Dash Force, doing all kinds of article reviews and stuff, especially point of sale reviews. He's been going through all those, trying desperately to find a good Dash point of sale system that's out there, and there really isn't one. There's one, let me find what it's called, but there's one that works pretty well for Europe, right? That it's a 0.5% conversion fee, and it Crypto Diggers.
Yeah,
yes,
cryptodiggers.eu, and these guys are legit. If you've used the General Bytes ATM, these are the people that actually made it possible. So they're not just creating POS solutions, they clearly own ATMs and stuff as well. And they actually provided the solution for General Bytes ATMs to actually add Dash, integrate Dash as well. So they're clearly good guys, and they know what they're on about.
Yes, they just don't work in the US yet. Of course, I believe their app works in the US, but the fiat conversion part does not. So that's the big thing. I mean, Coinbase would be just so efficient. Coin Payments was probably the leading point of sale system with fiat conversion available in the US. And their point of sale is a pretty nice app, except it's like broken and buggy, hasn't been updated forever. They say they were completely redesigning it and going to release a new one soon. So
yeah,
there is the one by Codex, and Nydia and some other Dash team members, that has been in the works for many months, and supposedly it's in the final stages. And so we'll see if that comes out soon, and if so, everything can really soar.
Yeah, Joel.
Yes.
Can you read out August James D's comment, because I have an answer for it.
Oh,
August James D.
You guys should give out T-shirts as prizes for hosting events / Dash meetups and Dash lectures.
If you come to the Dash conference and you're one of the first 100, you'll get one. With terms of giveaways, obviously I'm in the UK, so it's not like I have loads of stock around me, apart from the ones I've got printed up, like personally. So like, because they're printed and shipped by the provider. However, it's interesting you should mention that, because I was talking to a well-known community member called Philadelphia, who also runs the Dash Swag merchandise store, which is on Zazzle. Yeah. And he's helping me out with some hats and stuff for Stephen and Max for their road trip. And he actually suggested to me today about perhaps doing a giveaway on the free Amigos. So if you guys would like that, next week I can get Philadelphia in here and we can have like a giveaway, whether it's hats or T-shirts, that he will provide. If you would like that, say hell yes in the chat now. If not, I'll just get the swag from Max and Steven, because I need to get back to
if you say heck yes, then you're not nearly crypto cypherpunk enough. You're too cypher, not enough punk, and you don't get any. Sorry.
Yeah, as far as the meetups too, it would be a bit of a logistical nightmare to send all that out. I don't know how it would exactly how it would work, because you would have to do it beforehand, and then I don't know.
You don't get any, Joe.
Actually...
I saw you, Joe. You said yeah, free stuff. No, you gotta say hell yes.
People, if once they win the meetup, they can go buy it.
And look, this is out the kindness of his heart, because same situation with T Public. They print the stuff on his behalf, so the stock that he'll have, he would have purchased himself. So I will need to discuss with him how much swag, terms and conditions, whether it's just restricted to US or whatever. But yeah, I think we'll do like a giveaway. And also as well, we're a community-based channel, so I'm not going to do it on his behalf. I reckon we should bring him on the channel and we can all do it together. Just get everyone involved. And maybe we should get him to come into the... I will invite him to the after party as well, and maybe we can have this discussion.
So speaking of after party, we should probably get that going in a second. Last thing, of course, we have to mention it, is the markets. Ooh, Dash is on sale today. There was apparently some FUD about... Remember the ICO thing recently, last week or so, with Bitcoin just crashing after China declared ICOs basically illegal. And then now there's some new FUD about, China declared Bitcoin illegal and a bunch of people sold and just crashed. And ride the roller coaster, guys. I'm all leveraged out of fiat. I don't got any more. But if you have paper money, if you have fake money, you might as well use it to buy some real money right now, because real money is on a little bit of a sale. One-time offer only.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with these. These pullbacks are healthy, and I actually like it even more, because every time that price comes down, we just get more distribution, which means more people coming into Dash, which means each time the price just goes up higher and higher. So every time there's a pullback, more people jump in that feel like they've missed out on the boat before. So this is really great, and that's why I don't see it as a bad thing. I just know every time this happens, I know we're just going to come back stronger. It's like, oh great, we're going to go even higher next time. Dash to 500.
China's banned Bitcoin more times than I can even remember. That's what they do. I think some of it is definitely corruption within their government, and they want to buy in cheap. They want to play the market. I mean, it has to be. They just do it so much. It's ridiculous now.
Brian is absolutely bang on. I think Bitcoin has had 3 major pullbacks, and I think one of them actually pulled back 90%, and each time Bitcoin just has gone higher and higher. It's the same principle. The game's changed now though, because Bitcoin used to be the gateway drug. The only way you could get into the crypto game was through getting Bitcoin. That's not the case anymore, which is why people are getting educated, which is why there was the flipping in and people moving into Ethereum. But the problem is now is the real world stuff that we always talk about: businesses, users, transaction fees, speed, usability, accessibility. So like these are the key issues, and this is why I think the core team is just so confident, because they're just always constantly planning ahead. They don't play the hype game. I know we're like the mouthpiece and the cheerleaders for Dash, but they don't get involved with the hype. They just focus on the solutions, where other people just bury their heads in the sand, which they have to say like, oh, well, Bitcoin's now like a store of value because, it can't be used as a medium of exchange because the fees cost more than the cup of coffee that you want to buy. And that's just wrong. How can you recommend that to your friend? It's like last week when we had that guy that sent me that tweet, and he sent like $16 to his mate, and it was like $4 or $5 for a fee. Like, what's the point? And the thing is, the time for the transaction bloody took ages. So what? It's not feasible. If it's not better than the solution you're trying to replace, you're losing.
Yes. So I have 2 final thoughts about that before we can move on. Right. First is Bitcoin, as its original premise, has been dead for a little while now, and I don't think it will get better. I do not think it will. The markets, however, will not catch on to this probably for at least a year, right? As I've said before, Bitcoin as the gateway drug, everyone has to be hooked on crypto first before people leave Bitcoin for something stronger, right? I apologize for these dubious metaphors, but whatever. So we we'll likely see Bitcoin go up for a while in the future until reality catches up. And the last thing is 23 Uvaz says Dash cheerleaders. Do we have any Dash cheerleader outfits on that site? Any little crop tops or anything like that?
Maybe I can get
I
a
can
wig.
think of plenty of people to give them to.
I can get one of those like Stella Bell.
Get
like,
one sent to Fluffy Pony, can you?
Yeah, you can. Do you know what? I really, really hope I'm going to on behalf of Dash Force. So the London conference is on the Sunday, but on the Monday and Tuesday is the blockchain event. And Fluffy Pony's been a previous speaker at these events. Now he's not listed as a speaker, but I wouldn't be surprised if he turns up. So I'm going to be around, and I don't know what I'll do if I see him. I might try and interview him. I don't know what I should do, but
well,
I'll speak to
does
you guys
he
about it.
recognize
I
you?
might.
I mean, he and I have had a little back and forth here or there. He knows who I am, but does he know who you are?
Cretin. Yeah, he calls me a cretin. A Dash
well,
cretin.
do you have Groucho glasses?
I have a Trolero t-shirt.
Yes, put on the Trolero t-shirt, Groucho glasses, and a fake wig. I mean, obviously, and then just go up to him and just be like, I don't know, what kind of accent can you impersonate? A Scottish one? From the Monero Times.
I might just dress up in like a pony outfit, like a My Little Pony outfit.
Yes, with a little Monero sticker hanging off from the horn or something, and just go try to interview him and see if he'll talk to you, and then just be like, I don't know.
Yeah, interview him about the Great American Pilgrimage. I know he was really excited about getting Monero involved in that.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay,
right,
guys.
After party time, right?
Yeah. So here's the deal. Bear with us. It's the first time we're doing it. We look forward to talking to you guys. I'm going to shut this down on here, and then what I'll do is I'll set up a new hangout with the guys first, and then I'll drop a link in the Dash Nation Slack. First come, first served. I believe the threshold will be 10, but there is a potential it might be able to get up to 25. We will see what happens. So I look forward to seeing you guys in there. So yeah, let's hope this works. We're experimenting here.
Do we ever get any update on the Charlie card and the?
Oh no, I didn't see anything in the live chat. I'll just double check now.
Albert is first in line to join with the after party.
Okay, yeah, okay, Albert. I'll send you a link in the Dash Force Slack. Yeah, because we've got our own Slack going for what reasons?
Yes, we have more Slacks than Litecoin has developers. I don't know if that's true, but whatever.
It's true.
Our Dash Force team is bigger than the Monero production. I'm not joking. I'm telling the truth.
It's true.
Have a look.
It's true.
So yeah, don't get me started because it's not a good look for us guys.
Dash has more paid developers than Monero has paid trolls. Ooh.
You get me triggered on Monero. I'm not going to shut up. I'm just going to go hardcore. It's not a good look.
After party time.
All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. We hope you've enjoyed this. You found it informative, and yes, hopefully see you guys soon. If you can't make it, same time, same channel next week. You know what to do. If you haven't subscribed, do it. What are you waiting for? And yeah, we'll see you guys next Friday. Stay dashy. Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Love it. Laters.